changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us. They could not destroy us. For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with every one on my TV.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Happy New Year's, everybody. In today's late season matchup, we have two teams who have victory on their minds. It's the Steelers going up against the Bengals. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. First and 10 for Dalton. And incomplete to open things up. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's second down. In the backfield out of the starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
Passing again. Dalton on second and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's third down. Time here to show you the starters while we have a moment defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know one guy you like from Miami, Artie Burns.
Just jumps off the screen when you plug in his college tape in terms of athleticism. And I also watched him play with some intelligence. Saw him at one point jump into the slot and pattern read.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here in the game's opening drive. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. No gain on the play there. Second down. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
So second and 10 here. Second down, Dalton. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be third down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third down from the gun, Dalton. And Eifert has it. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So opening drive, third down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. It's second down. Dalton looking. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal. Dalton on third and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Shazier in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be fourth and long. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. From the left hash, this from 34. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just goes right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. In on the stop, Kevin Minter. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Vontaze Burfict is a super talent and a fierce competitor. He can do it all at the linebacker position.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete on the deep ball. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Gibbs got it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
They come out here in the eye. Dalton gives to Bernard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And the grab by Croft. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Come out here in the eye. Again, here's Bernard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Great job, D. Great job.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They send Green to the left on his own. Here's Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. The big fella. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6. A Steeler touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Crowley, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And a loose football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Dalton throwing on second down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left. From midfield here, Dalton. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
From that spot on the field, the tendency is to play it safe, run the football, make sure you don't have any errors. But sometimes you want to break tendency, and you take a big shot downfield, hoping to catch the defenders a little bit unaware. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get it completed on that play.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Brown, the lone receiver, left. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And caught right side, Green. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Second down now after the pass completion. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll run it with Bell. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down following the run. On second down, Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's brought down after a good gain. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
A screen to Bell. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up second down. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out proves somewhat fruitful as he is able to get it across the 25 by a little bit. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. Third down here. But pretty good coverage there in both of these defenses. They've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, Roethlisberger. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Surveying the field. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is, but he eats up ground, and he usually goes up and gets it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
for someone else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That was a really nice play. Be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
They come out here in the eye. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jesse James, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Second down, 8. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw here, Dalton toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. Dalton, 1st and 10. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Dalton now to pass. On the screen, Bernard. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep. Wiley.
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
First down and goal to go from the 7. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Here's Dalton to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, and it's a fumble. Out left side here to Bryant. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Another look for Dalton on second and 10. And that's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's third down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. Now fourth down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. This is Bell on the dump off. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Fresh set of downs here. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held him to an okay game. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Now it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a play fake here on first down. Green with a catch left side. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Martavis Bryant with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Caught on the left side by Ginn. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. This is caught by Ginn. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Second and 10. Dalton once more. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton, and that is incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Another pistol look here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Over the middle here to Brown. A very solid gain of 27. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now a first down carry by Bell. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On third down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A gain of 8 and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they